So you're looking for a light for your YouTube videos. Maybe it's your first one or maybe you're upgrading, but which one to get? Now there's so many options and you don't want to end up getting the wrong one and you don't want to end up spending too much money, leaving no room in the budget for those important extras, things like stands and softboxes. Yeah, don't forget those. So in this video I'm going to show you why I think the Godox SL100 Bi, standing for bicolor, is the perfect light for a YouTube channel. Have you seen that stack of books in the corner, by the way? Now, I love reading and I've got a question for you that I really need help with, but we'll get to that in a bit. But for now, let's look at the good parts of the Godox SL100. It's affordable. If you want to get a light like this that's 100 watts, bicolor, you're looking at way more than double the price if you go for one of the pro brands. Now with this being so affordable, it just means that you've got so much more room in your budget for extras, such as stands and softboxes, or even if you need like spare batteries for your camera or clamps, anything like that. And I hate spending money on those little accessories, I really don't like it. But if you go for a more affordable light, it takes that pain away. Now if you want some help choosing the right softbox for your new light, then I definitely recommend checking out these videos that I'll put a link up to here. I'll do some comparisons with different softboxes, so again you can save even more money, and it just shows you that you don't have to spend that much to get quality stuff. So definitely go and check those out after you've watched this video. Obviously the main feature of this light is it's a bicolor light. So that means you can match the temperature of other lights in your scene. For example, these lights in the background, you can have a combination or you can have contrasting setups, and it just gives you a bit more variation. Plus, if you are lighting a scene outside and you want to match the color of the sun, for example, you can use that color temperature to get the exact look that you're going for. And that just gives you a few more options. Maybe sometimes you don't want that cool light that you get from the usual 5600 Kelvin lights. The original SL60w light, which is a fantastic light, is still one of my favourites for the price. The brightness only goes down to 10%, so if you want to go below that and have a bit more control over your lighting, you can't. Whereas on the SL60w, it goes all the way down to 1%, so you've got loads more flexibility if you didn't want so much brightness in your scene. It works with an app on your phone. For example, if you can't reach round to the back of the light or if it's high up, you can just get your phone out, go on the app, and then adjust the brightness and the temperature using the phone app, and it's really simple. You can also connect it up to groups, so you can control different lights at different times or groups of lights at the same time. Love that feature. So it's got an upgraded, slightly newer design in comparison to the SL60w. As you can see, it's a tiny little bit smaller, a little bit lighter, and it's more of a square, rectangular shape rather than a rounded shape. And obviously they've also upgraded the back panel, but the biggest change is probably the reflector. As you can see on the SL60w, it's less reflective, whereas on the SL100, it's more of a reflecting material. So you're going to get brighter light. Now underneath the body you'll see that there's an umbrella clamp, so if you haven't yet got a softbox, or if you can't afford a softbox at the moment, you can just get one of those umbrellas and stick it straight in there, and that's going to give you nice soft light. Always come with these super long cables. Look at the length of that. This is the wrong one, so I've not got it out. This is the American style cable. For some reason they sent me that. Super long cable, so never had any issues with length. By the way, if you like the music used in this video, EPIDEMIC Sound are giving you a free month trial if you use the link in the description below. Definitely worth trying if you haven't done already. I'm a huge fan of EPIDEMIC Sound because they've got the best quality music out of all the platforms, in my opinion. And the tools that they have for searching for the perfect tracks are really useful, and it helped me find music quicker. And that's invaluable because it takes so long to choose the perfect music sometimes. Big thanks to EPIDEMIC Sound for sponsoring this video. Thank you so much. Now let's have a look at a couple of disadvantages of this light, but I will be showing you how to overcome some of those obstacles so that they're not that much of an issue. Number one, when you switch the unit off, it doesn't remember the settings that you were on. So for example, if you were on 25% brightness and you switch the light off and then back on again, it would automatically start up at 100%. So you'd either have to remember the settings that you use or write it down, for example. However, if you're using a remote or the app and you switch it off on the remote, when you switch it back on, it will revert back to the last setting. Just don't turn it off on the device itself. Now, it doesn't come with a remote, but the older remotes for the Godox lights do work with it. So if you've got any of those lying around, you can use those. If you don't have one and this is your first Godox light, then all is not lost, because as I said earlier, you can use the app. I think that's good. It means there's less plastic, less things to make, so I don't mind that. Last thing is, it doesn't come with a bag, but when you're spending this amount, I wouldn't expect it to come with a bag. I do like a dedicated case, but because it's me, I've done the legwork for you and I've found the perfect bag. Again, there's a video up here, you can go and watch that, but I will leave a link in the description if you want to go and get one of these. Perfect size, you can fit everything in there, and it's also got this front pocket that you can keep the cable in. It's also got a couple of dividers so you can keep the reflector in there as well. So, should you buy this light? Well, we're often told that the more money you spend on gear, the better quality it's going to be. Now, while that's kind of true, in some areas at least, it doesn't mean that you need to spend that money, and it doesn't mean that you need the bigger pro brands. Now, I'm sure the aperture lights are more colour accurate, but do you actually need that for YouTube videos? I've been using the Godox lights for a couple of years now, and I've never once thought this isn't accurate enough. And with the money that I've saved, I've been able to invest that in other areas that are really helpful, like SSD cards, like monitors, like clamps, like softboxes, microphones, for example. I mean, does this look bad? Does this image look terrible now? If you think it does, then obviously maybe go and buy yourself one of the aperture bicolour lights, which is £1,000. £1,000. That one is a lot brighter than this, but that's just an example. So, you know, if you've got a ton of cash to splash, then go for the aperture, no problem, it's going to be amazing. But if you are on a budget and all you're doing is YouTube, then maybe you don't have to spend that amount, and maybe the Godox SL100 is perfect for you. Have you ever noticed, by the way, pretty much every single book on Amazon is a New York Times or Wall Street Journal #1 bestseller? How can all of these books be #1 bestsellers? New York Times bestseller, #1 bestseller, international #1 bestseller, Sunday Times bestseller. Look at this book, Basketball, The Book of Basketball, New York Times bestseller. Has anyone actually ever heard of that book? I doubt it. And if you have, I'm sorry. I mean, this one was a pre-order. How can it be a Wall Street Journal bestseller already before it's even come out? How? So either I'm really good at choosing great books, or they hand these trophies out willy-nilly. I just don't understand. Who chooses these things, honestly? Please tell me in the comments if you know, then, and you want me to shut up, then hands up. So if you're still considering different types of lights, I've got loads of videos of different options for you, so check up here and also in the description below where I'll leave some more links. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for updates of new gear reviews and tutorials and much more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Put these books away now.